Ladies and gents, girls and boys, how you doing today? Danny Stewart here again for Bass Japan Direct with another Naked Sound review. Actually going to do a sound comparison and review of my Funky Junk number 37, which is a SIMS pickup collaboration. So here I have an Enfield bass, which is SIMS' own brand. So that is fitted with the SIMS pickups anyway as standard. So this one is also for sale, but it's like, I think I've got this up at 250,000. It's X display. It would usually be 330,000 yen, but it's X display, so it's not entirely like brand new. It has been played around at some clinics, demonstrations and stuff like that. So but anyway, I just wanted to compare the sound. So this is my Funky Junk number 37, which is which has a maple body from the late 70s, and I believe it's a Fernandez body, and a Bacchus neck, which is from the 90s, which is a very nice neck. So it's able to achieve very low action, and you know, the SIMS pickups, if you're not familiar with them, they're called the quad super quads because they have 4 magnets in each of these pickups, which means that you can get almost any combination of those magnets. These are called these have 3 settings. So right now we're on green, which is just regular jazz bass setting. So this will give you the rear coils together, which will give you a 60s jazz bass sound. Which is, it's absolutely fantastic, and this bass plays like absolute butter, or water even, or soy sauce if you're that way inclined. So that's wonderful. What I wanted to do was just compare this sound. Then it's all humbuckers. Woo! Then on the red setting, that is both precision bass style pickups, so split coils. Let's go back to humbuckers. All right, now let's plug in the original Enfield and see how that sounds in comparison. We'll go both dialed up, tone full up, same setting. Yeah. So what I hear immediately is that this there's something a little bit it's a little bit deeper and more sort of it's more of a closed sound, if you know what I mean, and that might have to do with the finish and the woods. So back to this. Yes, a little bit. Little bit more, or it's just a little bit more open sounding. It is lighter. This hard maple body is lighter than that solid alder body. This is, I think, 4.4 kilograms, whereas this is like just about 4 kilograms. So I think that's the main reason why. Anyway, let's go on to the rear pickup and just see what sort of sound we get there. Let's go on the jazz setting. Tone up. Hum. It's really quite beautiful. Oh, that's really nice. And that's on the precision setting. So, yeah, interesting. Of course, with the tone down. So the tone is quite wide. Love that humbucker setting. And then let's go on to the original again and just see how that sounds. Rear pickup again, similar settings, tone full up. That's very nice too. So, you know, you've got all the tones in between, of course. Yeah, I'm hearing a little bit of discrepancy in tone there. Oh, wait a minute, let's go on the front pickup. P bass setting. Let's go tone down. Yeah, tone up, bit of slap. Humbucker. So yeah, nice. It's got to look like a genuine. Very nice. And let's compare that to my funky junk now and see. Front pickup. Ooh. It's got the P bass setting. Tone down. Fingerstyle. bit of slap. That wasn't with the tone all the way up. Let's go with the tone up. Yeah, so. Yeah, I mean, they're different, aren't they? Definitely they have a different character, and that's basically because of the tone wood. So there goes that tone wood argument again. For bass guitars, it definitely is true. Tone wood does affect the sound very much, and this is an example of that. But you know, in terms of these two basses, what I will say is this: the Enfield, its price brand new, its list price was 330,000 Japanese yen. I think they were going at 2,750 pounds, British pounds, at the time. I've had this for a couple of years. It's been a demo instrument. I have taken it to some workshops to show some students about Enfield basses. So it is on a special deal at the moment at 250,000 yen, which is I think is a very good price for what it is. That's a solid older body, beautiful, the beautiful fretboard on this, a nice rugged neck, 0 fret on that. Whereas this, you know, it's maple, it's lighter weight. This sounds a little bit more open to me, and that could be to do with the finish as well. This is a much thinner finish. You know, it's been redone by myself, and yeah, as with always with my funky junks, nothing is perfect. It's pretty good though, even if I do say so myself. I put a lot of effort into it. But yeah, this just sounds a little bit more open and maybe a little bit more natural and organic to me than that does. This has a very thick top coat on it, on the body as well. I think that also affects the tone. But you know, so it depends what you prefer, really, doesn't it? In terms of playability, I don't know really. They both play really well. So, in terms of playability, which one is better? Oh. It's hard to say, really. I think this has a slightly lower action. It can achieve slightly lower action. It's got the countersunk bridge, so there's that. But I mean, it is ridiculously low. Like, if you might not even like it that low. So yeah, it's an interesting question. But there you go. I mean, that's all I wanted to show you. I just wanted to show you how the Funky Junk sounds compared to an original Enfield. You know, obviously every bass, every different piece of wood has its own properties, and how you put them together and what bridge you use often affects the tone. So, you know, despite what these naysayers say, I think with bass guitars it's definitely more audible than it is with a regular guitar. But you know, tone wood definitely has an effect. So, and over here is a Fender Japan, which I did for my customer here in Japan. This is my first official SIMS installation, and this one is a basswood body, and this balanced with the tone up. So again, you know, that's a different tone again, isn't it? Different again, and that's because that's simply the wood. But that plays great, you know. That's Fender Japan always make their necks so well. Yeah, so and then finally, well, this is, you know, there you go. I think they all sound they all sound different. They all sound good in their own way. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but you know, the price is very different. So you might want to consider that. The Funky Junk, I've put a lot of effort into it. You know, these pickups are not cheap, and so they shouldn't be. They are basically, each pickup is £195 list. So that's British pounds. In Japanese yen, that's about 29,000 yen. So that ain't cheap, you know. And then on top of that, you got, you know, my Funky Junk body, neck, and parts, basically coming to about 35,000 yen. Then the labor on top of that, the custom pick guard, about 15,000 yen. So yeah, I mean, usually, really and truly speaking, I think this is worth more than what it's listed at. I've listed it for 1,200 because it is literally the first one that I've done. So it's $1,200. This is like $2,400 at the moment. It's discounted because it is X-Display. It's a demo instrument. And then that is not for sale, of course. That's the customers, but that's just an example of another tone wood with the same pickups and circuitry in it. So there you go, guys. That'll do it. What else do I need to mention? Oh, the only other thing to mention is I've devised a way of installing everything without routing cavities in the back. I don't like the look of cavities routed in the back, especially on a passive bass. This is a passive bass, by the way. Yes, it has a battery, but the battery is in the cavity, and it is only for these LED lights, so that you know what pickup mode you're in. And the battery lasts a good year. In fact, I think the one in this bass has been in there for 2 years. It's still going. So, you know, yeah, I haven't used that bass every day, but I think if you were to use the bass every day, as long as you unplug it after each use, you're not going to drain the battery, and it's going to last about a year. And that's just to serve these lights. Even when the battery is finished, is depleted, you can still use the bass. It's just the lights won't come on. That's the only thing. But on this one, it's not difficult to change. All you need to do is unscrew the pick guard, lift it up, and you'll get access over here. The battery's in here. You'll get access to the battery that way. Just pull the battery out, put a new one in the clip, put it all in, make sure the wires are all tucked in to the cavity, and then you can tighten the screws back up and you're done. So it's not that difficult, and it only needs doing once a year, you know. So yeah, there you go, guys. The Funky Junk number 37. which is the Fernandez and Bacchus hybrid, and the Enfield Avenger, which is a great bass, as you could hear and see. Yeah, I would recommend either of them. This is definitely more solid feeling, and I think more solid sounding. But I kind of like the character of my funky junk, even if I do say so myself. And it's a lot cheaper, so there's that to consider. All right, guys. So thanks again for watching, and see you again.